AJ is not ready for Deontay Wilder. I'm just saying that now straight off the bat based on that last performance. I think the moment of him being at his most lethal is definitely gone. But before we get into that, I am Nick J. Francis. Welcome back to Nick J. Francis' channel. I'm with my boy Shane.
Oh, go on.
Do you agree?
Bro, after that performance, I'm not going to lie, a lot of fans, well, especially AJ fans, were like, oh yeah, that knockout, we haven't seen a knockout like that from AJ probably since, what, Alexander Povetkin maybe?
Yep, I would say so.
And a lot of people like, yeah, we finally got the old AJ back. But I feel like some people have a lot of, like, short-term memory. Because the first 7 rounds, I mean, I saw a very underwhelming performance from Anthony Joshua. And if that AJ goes in there against Deontay Wilder, for all his technical and physical advantages, he gets knocked out. He gets knocked out clean.
This is what I'm saying, like, this is the problem when people win fights by knockout, and it was a very, very good knockout.
Definitely.
Giving AJ credit for the knockout. Laurie was calling for it. I was calling for a 1-2. I said I think he's gonna win by knockout in round 6, and it was actually round 7.
Yeah.
As I was close, and I said I think he could win by stoppage with the straight right, because for me, I know AJ's uppercutted man before, but it's that straight right is where the power comes from for me, and that's what it was. So I was pretty accurate, but people are not, when it's a knockout win, sometimes people are not taking into consideration what happened on the way to the knockout.
Facts.
And for me, the thing that's deteriorated the most with AJ is the mental side. I've said this so many times. When he has his man hurt, he had Helenius hurt, I would say, 3 or 4 times. There were 3 or 4 windows of opportunity for him to go for the kill where he didn't. And I give him credit for eventually going for the kill. But against somebody like Deontay Wilder, who's very, very lethal, and who throws wild haymakers when he is in trouble and when he's under pressure, I don't think that if AJ doesn't go for the kill at the right time and he leaves it too long, I think he gets caught.
The problem is, and I feel like because of the knockout and the way he knocked him out, it's like, wow. But what people don't know is, like, for those who don't know, Robert Helenius has always been chinny. He's always been chinny. He, like, every year is knockout of the year candidate, and he's the one that's getting knocked out. He got knocked out clean by Wilder, but even before that...
In the first round?
Yeah, but in the first round. If you watch him versus Johan Duopa, it's one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
How long ago was that fight?
But it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Gerald Washington knocked him out. Now, for those, Gerald Washington, he fought Chisora, knocked Robert Helenius out cold.
Yeah, that's a good point. For any UK fans that don't know a lot about Washington, go and look at his fight against Chisora. That was on the undercard for the AJ fight. Very underwhelming. Chisora beat him.
Exactly. And that guy ironed Robert Helenius out. Yeah. So, bruh, like all of this hype around Deontay Wilder and AJ knocking him out, I'm like, bruh, for one, he fought someone who's notoriously chinny, and if I know that, definitely AJ knows that.
Yeah.
And you were still gun shy. Like for the first 7 rounds, we could see, like, for one, I do see improvements under Derek James physically and technically.
Yeah.
His gas tank's still there. He's setting himself up in terms of his footwork. But you can tell, as you said, confidence ain't there. And the maddest thing is, you brought up the points of when he hurt him, but there's been multiple times in that fight where he cut off the ring and he had him in a right point or against the ropes or in the corner. And we just didn't see that old school AJ flurry where he used to throw 4 or 5 punch combinations. And it was like from minute 1, the opponent was under pressure. He doesn't do that no more. Like, he just stays within his shell, and it's almost like he waits for the perfect opportunity, and boxing doesn't give you that.
But do you think that Wilder fans or AJ fans have seen a bigger deterioration in Wilder? Like, where's Wilder at this moment in time? Because obviously he took a couple of serious beatings against Tyson Fury. One of the most one-sided fights I'd ever seen. I think it was in the second fight. Was it second fight? The second fight was just, he just mauled him. It was crazy. So how much is Wilder, you know, it's not the same AJ, but maybe is it not the same Wilder? Because I think where me and you disagree, I can see AJ winning the fight. You think it's impossible.
I don't think it's impossible.
Or you think, like,
I just think 70-30, innit?
Yeah, like I could see AJ winning the fight, potentially, but he has to fight a near perfect fight. And what he has to do, he's shown against Ruiz that he can box, jab, move. Even showed against Helenius a bit that he can jab and move. And in the old days, he had the killer instinct. He is going to have to put those two together perfectly. He's not going to be able to outbox Wilder for 12 rounds without getting caught. and he's not going to be able
You just brought up the point. So even when you ask me where I'm talking about deterioration, the issue is the levels that Wilder was at to where he is at now. It's not as great of a fall because it's not like he's lost punching power. His punching power is still there. It's not like he's lost confidence. Well, from what we can see, his confidence still seems to be there. We're talking about a man who's never been able to box. Really, he's never really won rounds at a high tempo. He's never really had a great inside game, and he's got no back foot. That's still the same thing. Wilder's still the same person in terms of his fragilities, and his strengths are pretty much still the same. In order to negate his strengths, you have to sustain attacks, which Tyson Fury had not just the confidence, but the overall ability to sustain attacks consistently. If you're going in that fight without the mindset of actually, cool, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there and from minute one, apply pressure. You're not going to have enough time to figure this fight out against Wilder. Because the moment he lands, it's over. There is no tomorrow. And I know people will say, oh, that's the same thing with AJ and Wilder. But AJ has shown us in the last few fights, he's not able to sustain any form of attack. And for me, I can easily see AJ winning the fight and then just getting ironed out one time.
That's what I think will happen. I think AJ will be up on the cards, but then he's going to get flattened.
Of course.
He's just... And I was been disputing this with various AJ fans, including Laurie, about AJ's chin. Now, I'm not saying AJ's chin is bad. I'm not calling him any bad names. Any punch that AJ has taken and been laid out with, I also would have been laid out with. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying he cannot... his chin is not great. It's not one of his key strengths. I'm not saying it's really, really bad. I think I used the word suspect and everyone jumped on me. It's not the worst chin ever, but it's definitely not the best chin ever. And Wilder is one of the hardest punchers in the history of the heavyweight division.
Right.
So AJ has been put down or hurt by people who do not hit as hard as Wilder. And I don't care what people say. He's been hurt by Joseph Parker. He's been hurt by Carlos Takam. He's been hurt by Povetkin. And he was dropped and ultimately knocked out by Ruiz. Wilder hits harder than all these men.
I don't even think... You know why I don't think chin comes into this? Because no matter how good your chin is, if Wilder hits you, you're getting knocked out.
But with AJ, like, he can get put back into his box. Even if he is doing sustained attacks, a firm jab, which I know is one of Wilder's weaker points, but a firm jab would put him back.
Of course.
He can get pushed back. And once Wilder just... You know, Wilder does that. He just leaves it out, and he's longer and rangier than AJ, and then follows through. That's it.
It's funny for me because, like, back before, I would say I was leaning towards AJ because I thought AJ had the ability to sustain those attacks and actually cause, basically do what Tyson Fury done to Deontay Wilder, because he had that overwhelming physique and he was so confident. The problem is, the mindset you need to beat a Wilder, you need self-confidence. Yeah. Because if you don't have a chin, you have to believe that my shot is going to land before his. Yeah. You have to have that confidence to think, okay, this guy has the ability to knock me out, but I'm willing to put myself in the fire because I know when I land, it's over. Yeah. I don't see that AJ. Yeah. I don't see an AJ who thinks, every time I go in the ring, I am going to knock you out. Yeah. Every shot I throw is going to be with 100% intentions to knock you out. That AJ that we saw against Klitschko, or that AJ we saw against Dylan White, where when I hit you, it's over. I don't see that anymore.
Even his call-outs, like since the losses and stuff, even when he won against Ruiz back in Saudi, and it was like, you know, if the fans want Tyson Fury, let it be Tyson Fury. You know, now it's like, you know, if the fans want to see Wilder, let it be Wilder. I'm not hearing that real confidence. I'm not hearing that real confidence. And I think, even though Wilder's not the slickest with the wordplay and he's not the most intelligent guy, book smart, I think he'll win the mental battle. I think because you know, I don't want to keep saying AJ's mentally struggling, but I think Wilder will be 100% confident. Like you said, if we assume that both punches are the same, which they're not, Wilder's got a stronger punch, but Wilder will believe that his punch connects before AJ believes.
100%, and that's what it comes down to. Yeah. And I genuinely believe there's part of AJ that thinks that Wilder's punch will land before his.
Yes.
And that's my problem. Because AJ going into a fight, he doesn't care about what his opponent's got to give. He gets caught by Ruiz because he doesn't care about what Ruiz is throwing at him. Like he gets caught by Dylan because he don't care about what Dylan has to throw. He gets caught by Klitschko because he doesn't care. Same thing with Povetkin. Now since we've seen the Usyk loss, the Ruiz loss, he cares about what opponents have to throw against him.
Yeah.
Now he's against the heaviest puncher of all time, bro. It's over.
His
He
face
doesn't have
even
the
looked
confidence.
marked up against Robert Helenius.
Bro, his nose is
He lost
he
the first 2 rounds on my scorecard. Personally, did you see the fight?
Yeah, no, of course I saw the fight.
So that's how I see it going personally. Do you know what I'm saying? You lot let me know. Drop a comment down below. Am I bugging? Are we bugging? Because we think, just like to be clear, I don't think that Wilder definitely wins, but I'm the same as you. I think 70-80% sure that Wilder wins by KO.
Knockout.
AJ will be up on the scorecards. AJ can potentially win, but he'd have to fight a perfect fight. But you lot tell me if I'm bugging. Let me know. Like and subscribe the video. We're going to be coming with more boxing content. We're out.
Love.